So a lot of times I get asked by people just coming into this field of spirituality and metaphysics, I get asked the question, which stone is best for me? Which crystal, which stone should I go for? Which stone is going to help me out? Which stone is best for me? And it's a totally fair and common question that I get asked a lot, and I wanted to touch on that. And also, some people sometimes wonder if stone energy is even real, if this is real. I can say right off the bat that stone energy, crystal energy, is 110% real. And the reason why it's real is because you're real. When you go and work with stone's energy, when you go and feel the energy of the stone, when you work with the energy, it's actually like a dance, if you will. It's a dance between you, your energy, your spirit, and the energy inside the stone. And it's like a biofeedback. It's a give and a take, right? It's not just extracting energy from the stone and then you using that, You need to have your own energy go inside the stone to grab the energy stone and then bring it back to you. If you didn't have your own spirit core, your kundalini is what we call it, the core that runs up and down the spine, or your own energy to feel the energy of the stone, you wouldn't be able to feel it at all. So just because of that, just because of the mere fact that you're real, your spirit's real, your energy is real, and you can go in and grab the energy of the stone and feel it for yourself. That in itself tells you that stone energy is not just real, but it's also very much beneficial for you. Now, stone energy is a very subtle thing to first really kind of feel and get into the groove of feeling it. When I used to give these events, and I'll get back to this once everything opens up here, I would give events in stone shops and taught, it's like an introductory course into who I am, what I'm doing with my spiritual metaphysical work, and mainly stone energy, right? So we would talk about stones and started off slow, but then eventually I had people, like groups of 20, 30 people coming in to these stone shops to listen to me give a class on this stuff. And it was always interesting when you work with people, and part of that class, the best part of that class would be the hands-on interactive part where I teach people how to feel the energy, and then we go in and we feel it, and I give everybody a little piece of star arsenite, high crystal star arsenite, and then we go and feel the energy. When we do that, you can tell right away who's more sensitive to this stuff, who's more, because we're all at different paths, right? And that's not me saying, this person can feel it better than this person. It doesn't mean that person's better or anything. It just means that person may be further along in their own awakening to the point where maybe they've done work in the past, or they can feel energy, they can feel subtle energy, versus somebody that's just getting in. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. We're all in our different path here. And the whole thing about that is that stone energy, in order to really feel the energy of the crystal, of the stone that you're holding, it's a subtle thing, and you have to be sensitive enough to feel those subtle energies. And what I've noticed throughout the years is that the higher your degree is in college, in university, the higher your degree is, the harder all this stuff is probably going to be for you at the start. Because this is opposite of how we've been taught our whole life. This is the opposite of spiritual and metaphysical work. Is the exact opposite of anything that we know in society, whether it's any school of knowledge, of thought. It's all intuitive. It's less logical, less left brain logical, cerebral, and it's more just like feeling and knowing and understanding. It's all very intuitive. So you'll find people that have PhDs and stuff that are getting into this, and at first they might have a hard time feeling it, but then as you go along, they pick it up like anybody else. So it doesn't really matter. It's just an interesting thing to notice. Now, back to the original question, which is, how do you know which stone is best for you, right? There's thousands of minerals, there's thousands of crystals, right? How do you know which one? We all hear these common generalities, and they're really just kind of arbitrary generalities that people give stones when it comes to definitions. Like, this is for love, this is for prosperity, this is for wealth, this is for luck, this is for relationships, this is for that, blah blah blah. This stone channels in the higher whatever. All of that is really just kind of a very arbitrary definition based on a little piece of maybe somewhat factual metaphysical information, right? I can guarantee you when somebody or a book or something is talking about that, in just these very vague generalities, that they really don't know what they're talking about when it comes to stone energy. Because what usually happens is, people that just come to this field, they default into the more common stones, like the clear quartzes, the amethyst. And I got some beautiful pieces, not only in front of me, but also behind me, on the bookshelf here. And these are just out here to show you guys, some nice examples. But, people default to these, like, rose quartz, the amethyst, the clear quartz, the, this and that, and all the more common stones. When in reality, I can guarantee you that, it's probably not going to do much for that individual. These very common kind of crystals that are really mainstream because of good marketing, I would say. Good marketing in a bad way, right? Because marketing at the end of the day is just made to sell a product, opposed to actually talking about, what it could do, what it could really do for you. Because if you get too complicated, too in detail, if you put too much knowledge out there, it takes away from the the sexiness, the attractiveness of just saying that this is for love, buy this now. That's what marketing does, and it's kind of like a plague, honestly, in this field, in the metaphysical field, because so many people are kind of stuck on really just this la la land concept of many different metaphysical and spiritual topics. Stone energy is not just the one. I spoke of I spoke of twin flames and freaking soulmates a couple videos back. When I was up in the mountains doing some hiking, and I was talking about how that is really kind of just a pipe dream, but it's a concept that's being sold a lot. In a lot of New Age people push that concept without really understanding how that works. And when you push something like that, that really has no validity, no truth behind it. You're really just selling an idea that's not gonna, it's like you're selling like snake oil, basically, and you're selling a lie, basically, to make somebody feel good. And I'm not about that at all. Okay, I'll tell you what it is, the truth behind it. It may get a little bit, not as appealing, right? It's not going to get as many views. It's not gonna, sell as many products. If I were just to come out and say, oh, this is for love, buy this now, you'll meet the love of your life, your freaking soulmate, blah blah blah, complete nonsense. But people that actually say this kind of stuff, they're really just trying to sell a product. I actually care about I care about people's awakening. I care about how the process of somebody is going through when they're waking up, and how they're doing it, and making sure that they're on the right path, and helping as much as I can, to help them understand this. And that's why I love doing this stuff. I love working with people. So I could never ever go down that route of just over sensationalizing in a concept. Anyway, so that was a little rant. But so how do you find the best crystal for you? How do you know? Again, there's thousands of minerals, thousands of stones. I mean, my gosh, there's so many, and each and every one of them have unique, specific energy. So how do you know which one's the best one for you? Well, I'm gonna break it down into two categories here when it comes to stone energy. One. Okay, there are stones that just match your frequency, right? First off, you got to find your own personal frequencies. Everybody's different. Everybody is like, a little bit different, not only physically, but also metaphysically. Your energy, your build for frequencies, everybody's just a little bit different. Some people have more of this, some people have more of that, whatever it may be. You really want to find out what your personal frequencies are, right? And then you go from there. So you find your personal frequencies, and I'll help you guys with that here in a second, but we're just going to talk about the process here. You find your personal frequencies, and some people are more heart-oriented. You see that when it comes to people that take up positions as healers in this metaphysical realm. They're healers or energy workers. A lot of them have that beautiful lime green spiritual healing heart energy that comes from their heart, and it's no wonder why these people they take up these professions when it comes to like the metaphysical world as healers, or even doctors, right? Even medical professionals, right? A lot of these people have beautiful heart energy, and so that correlates into what you choose to do with your life. It's really awesome when you see how everything mixes together. So a lot of people there's three primary centers. There's heart, There's your pineal, which is more cerebral, logical people. That would be more myself, and the color of that is representative of like lapis lazuli, the stone, or even the color of my shirt. And also solar plexus, gut intuition, right here. And the color of that is like more of a yellow color. A lot of mothers, have that very, very strong mother's intuition, gut intuition. That old saying, "Follow your gut." All of that is true, absolutely. A lot of businessmen are solar plexus. You'll see that a lot. So you have these three, and once you find, okay, so everybody's like one or maybe two, out of the three where they're stronger, and then you have other frequencies beneath that as well. So you find your own personal frequencies, and then you get a stone to kind of match that frequency. It amplifies, it helps you out, it makes you more of who you are, right? For heart stones, for heart-centered people, you get a really nice piece of rhodonite, some rhodochrosite, some ruby. Oh my gosh, red aventurines, and that's all more of the red color. Heart actually has many different frequencies, not just red, love. It's got healing, spiritual healing, calm, hope. That's light blue. Spiritual healing is green. Physical healing, dark green. All that comes from the heart. It's very diverse as far as the different frequencies go. So you can take these stones that match your personal frequencies of the heart. If you have those, and amplify that for the for the pineal people, you get some lapis. For the solar plexus people, you can get some yellow aventurine, some yellow jade, etc. So there's that. Okay, so number one, you get stones that match your personal frequencies, right? Second, the second thing you have to be aware of is, number two is finding stones that'll help you situationally. So you have crystals and stones that will always kind of benefit your main frequencies, right? Your main energy. And then you have situational stones and crystals, which are more like you need them in that very situation. You maybe you don't need them all the time. Maybe you just need them right then and there. Perfect example. Let's say you're going through a hard time. Okay. Let's say your family members passed away, maybe you just broke up with somebody, okay, or maybe, you lost a family dog or something, losing a companion like that, and you're hurt, your heart's hurt, going through a hard time. You're not usually like this, but because, crazy events happen in your life, you're kind of hurt. A lot of people, and I see this a lot of people will say, oh, you're hurt, or, oh, here, let me give you some rose quartz. Right, because rose quartz is the stone, the crystal of love. So this has to be a good pair. No, absolutely not. Rose quartz. What rose quartz actually does is it just amplifies whatever is coming out of the heart. So if you're hurt, it's going to amplify that emotion 10 times. It's kind of interesting. Actually, I spoke with somebody at a Stone Energy event. She wasn't aware that this is actually what rose quartz did. But what happened is she went through a rough time, and her friend gave her rose quartz just like that. And she said, yeah, she told me, we were talking after the class one-on-one, and she was like, yeah, Frank, my friend gave me rose quartz and said it was good. I was going through a hard time, and I found that it actually made me very jittery and unsettling and shaking a lot. And so I had to keep it away from me. And I was just kind of like, yeah, well, it's because rose quartz was amplifying what you were feeling 10 times. So you were sad, now you're really sad. You were shaking, anxious, now you're really anxious. So rose quartz is not a good stone for that. But back to the main. I don't want to go off on a tangent too much. Back to the main kind of purpose of what I'm saying here is that when you have a situation in your life, you can use particular stones to help that out, to assist that situation in whatever way possible. Going through emotionally turbulent times is just an example. It doesn't always, it's not just that. It can be anything else. It can be, maybe you just need to relax, one night, and maybe one night you're like having a hard time relaxing, so you go and get some Larimar. Larimar is a great relaxing, calming stone. Ocean agate, it can be maybe you need a focus, right, or maybe you need to ground yourself. You need to stay grounded for this day or 2 days or a week, or maybe just a short amount of time. So get yourself some hematite, very grounding, stone. Maybe you need to cleanse yourself, right? Maybe you feel like you're being messed with, attacked by energy, or maybe you just want to have that metaphysical energy, that protection around you at all times. So then you keep some black tourmaline on you, right? Those are all situational, and you don't need to have you don't need to have that on you all the time. So that's how I would break it down: is that you have two different types of kind of stones and crystals that you can keep on you. One is kind of like the stuff that matches your own frequency, your own energy, and two is stuff that's situational. Now, how do you find your own frequency, your own energy? A lot of times I've heard this, people say, you gotta, when it comes to stones, it's gotta come to you, it's gotta call you, you have to feel like attracted to it, blah blah blah. There is truth to that, absolutely. It's a very vague statement. It's a very generalized statement, and usually people that say this kind of stuff don't actually really know how to read or feel energy frequencies and know what's really good for that individual, and they're just kind of saying it, because you can't go wrong when you say something like that, because it's not wrong, but it's not 100% right either. So it's just like a very general kind of feel good statement that people say. The truth behind that is, yes, sometimes you'll just intuitively know, you will feel it, and you'll know, oh, I don't know why I feel pulled towards this stone. So long as you're not being pulled towards something just because it's aesthetically pleasing to your eyes, right? Just because it's physically pretty. There's a lot of physically pretty stones that are, when you look at it, it's like, whoa, okay, I'm pulled towards that. Well, you're pulled towards it because of the aesthetics, the physical appearance of it, not because it can actually help you, So there's an issue with that right there. But sometimes you will kind of and it all depends on the individual. It's all situational. If the individual has a stronger gut intuition, they will know. They'll walk down a stone shop or a stone store, or whatever, and they'll just be pulled towards a particular mineral with nothing too special, but they feel a strong attraction towards it. They feel a strong pull to get this stone or mineral. So that can happen, absolutely. Absolutely. When you feel that gut intuition, I would say go off of it. Just so, double check yourself. Make sure you're not being pulled towards something just because it's pretty, or just because somebody is trying to sell you something that's, the prettiest, 10-foot piece of quartz that just, and they use all these kind of fancy names like a generator or something. Make sure you're actually genuinely pulled towards a stone or a crystal. If you decide to go that route with just kind of using your own feeling, when you walk into a store, and you should always do it anyway, just to see what hits you. But it's not 100%. It's not going to be like 100% thing. What I would honestly recommend is you can do that, but know your own personal frequencies, like I was saying, and then go from there. And then once you know that, okay, know your own personal frequencies, know what stones match those frequencies, and then take that knowledge, walk into a stone shop or a store, or even if you're shopping online, like on my store, on my Etsy, and just look at each image, okay? This is for online. Look at each listing, look at each image, and just look at the stone and extend your energy out. This is how you feel stone energy remotely without touching it. Extend your energy out and then take it back with you. And then take it back to you and see how you feel about it. See how it affects you. This is literally what I do when I shop online and buy crystals and buy stones. I do just that. I look at the listing, right? I extend my energy out. I touch it. I feel it. I'm like, okay, I like this. This is good for me. I'm getting this, or I'll maybe be like, oh, you know what? Maybe not this one. Maybe the other one. I'll look at the other one. When it's physical, when it's in person, when I'm at a stone show, at a gym show, what have you, and I get to actually physically hold the stone if they let you. I'll do the same thing, but just through physical touch, feel the energy. Okay, this one, no, maybe not that one, etc. Sometimes when you need a stone that's situational, you'll get pulled towards it. So I want to do a test here with you guys now. I've done this test before. When I first started this channel, this must have been like 3-4 years ago now. It's been a while actually. I've been on YouTube for quite some time now. I didn't even realize it until now, until recently. There's an interesting little test that you can all do on your own time if you have the three stones. If not, I'll show them right here. I want you guys to look at this photo. I'm going to show you guys three stones. Okay. Never mind the physical shape and size. Okay. So I think one of them is a little bit bigger than the other. And don't worry that if it's polished or raw, just kind of forget all that for now. And the physical size. Just look at the three stones. Which three do you feel most attracted to, most drawn towards, most pulled to? And we're going to do that right now. So go ahead. Okay, welcome back. So which stone did you feel most attracted to, most pulled to? The three were lapis, rhodonite, and yellow aventurine. These three stones are the closest representations to the three main energy centers. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Like I said, we're all kind of centered in one of the three, and then we have offshoot frequencies of a smattering of different other stuff, but we're all kind of boom, boom, either solar plexus, heart, or pineal. So it's a very good chance, whatever you were drawn to, it's a very good chance that is your actual strongest energy focal center, focal point. If you're like me, I'm pineal. If you're drawn to pineal energy, you would have looked at the lapis right away, and you would have said, "Wow, that you probably." I mean, I'm not saying this is what you have to say, but you probably would have said something like, "Wow, look at that deep blue, it's beautiful." If you're a heart energy, you probably would have seen the rhodonite and been like, "Wow, there's so much love, and I'm just so pulled into that." Or if you're a solar plexus, you probably would have saw the yellow entry, and your gut was probably firing up, right? Your gut was probably just firing up. All that fire, and just and you probably just intuitively knew, yeah, this one, that's more or less how it goes. And so you build from there, right? You find your own personal frequencies. You look into yourself, go into yourself. You're a mix of many different energies, many different frequencies. You have so much of everything, and then you walk into a stone store, or as you're shopping online. Find stones and crystals that kind of match that energy signature, and then hold them in your hand. Hold them if they let you. Sometimes they don't let you. I've had some people here before in the room, and it's like, yeah, go ahead, grab, touch everything. I encourage people to hold them. Some crystals are very fragile, but most of them are pretty good. So you hold them in your hand and just relax and let the energy come inside you and flow inside of you. And then you hold them in your hand, and then you let the energy flow inside your core and your spirit, and see how you react to that, right? See how you feel about that. And that's how you'll know whether or not a particular stone will be really beneficial to you. Like I said, there's thousands of stones, and as you can see behind me, I've been collecting now for quite some time, and it's never like you'll never have enough. But as long as you have the basic ones that really benefit you, that's a really good start. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. Thanks for watching, and drop a comment or something if you have any questions or comments. I always appreciate that. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon.